Now, documents seen by the BBC appear to provide a detailed insight into how China handled hundreds of Muslims held in a network of internment camps. The information includes personal details of the Uighur community who were placed in detention for reasons such as wearing a veil or applying for a passport or accidentally visiting foreign internet sites. Critics say that the documents are evidence of a campaign by the Chinese authorities against the Uyghurs, whose home is in the far western Xinjiang region. But China has always denied any form of religious discrimination. Our diplomatic correspondent James Landale has the story.
For 2 years now, the BBC's reported on camps like these in Western China, where about 1 million Uyghurs and other Muslim minorities have been detained without trial. China says the Uyghurs held here learned Chinese and Communist Party doctrine as part of an attempt to combat extremism and terrorism. But a leaked document seen by the BBC suggests these camps are part of a comprehensive crackdown on religious practice. Across 137 pages, the spreadsheet sets out in huge detail why more than 300 Uyghurs from one particular county in Xinjiang province were considered for detention. Some were detained because they had applied for a passport, they had relatives abroad, or had unintentionally landed on a foreign website while searching the internet. Others were detained because they used to grow a long beard, or used to wear a veil, or because they had a minor religious infection. Some were guilty of violations of birth control policies, or simply being an untrustworthy person. The document was passed through intermediaries to Asia Abdullaheb, a Uyghur exile living in Amsterdam, who decided to make it public.
Of course I am worried about the safety of my relatives and friends, but if everyone keeps silent because they want to protect themselves and their families, then we will never prevent these crimes being committed.
The document includes data gathered by Communist Party officials of Uyghurs' private and religious lives, what they eat and wear when they pray or go to mosque, and details of some 3,000 family, friends and neighbours with whom they may be considered guilty by association. The document is hard to verify 100%, but experts who've examined it told me they believe it is genuine.
The entire internment campaign and the reasoning behind it reveals a very detailed and in itself internally consistent worldview, one which we might liken to the ideology of a medieval witch hunt, which is highly fearful of anything religious.
Last year, China invited the cameras in, claiming these camps were merely vocational education centres. And today, the country's embassy in London insisted the only people being held were those convicted of unlawful or criminal acts involving terrorism and religious extremism, and it denied targeting any specific religion or ethnic group. James Landale, BBC News.